Back to the reading of A Galaxy of Her Own. So we finished the first section of the book, which was the origins of the space age, and now we are on to the dawn of the space age. The dawn of the space age, 1957 to 1972. The space age started as a race. The USA and the Soviet Union both used technology developed in Germany during the Second World War, wanting to prove that they were the most powerful country in the world by conquering space. The Soviet Union made history on the 4th of October 1957 when Sputnik, the first satellite, orbited Earth. It emitted radio signals with a beep, beep that could be heard by anyone in the world who tuned in. When the Soviets put the first person in space, Yuri Gagarin, in 1961, the USA responded by throwing down the gauntlet, the goal of putting a human in space, human on the surface of Earth, before the end of the decade, and then returning them safely to Earth. Valentina Tereshkova, parachutist, cosmonaut, Russian-born 1937, and then that arrow means that she is still alive. Valentina Tereshkova wanted to be a train driver. She saw them on their way into Moscow and thought it was the best job in the world. What she actually went on to do was the best job out of the world. The early days of human spaceflight were a competition between the United States of America and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union had to put the first person in space, Yuri Gagarin, and now they wanted to put the first woman there. The spacecraft they had built could not land softly back on Earth, so anyone flying in it had to fire an ejector seat 7 kilometres above the surface and parachute down. As a young girl, Valentina was desperate for adventure and had joined a parachuting club where she quickly excelled. When the authorities were looking for a talented female to become a cosmonaut and fly their spacecraft, Valentina was selected. The mission program was carried out in secret, and she couldn't even tell her mother about it. Instead, she told her she was training for the national parachuting team and wrote letters home making up all sorts of stories. Valentina blasted into space on a momentous day in July 1963 and spent 3 days orbiting the Earth. When she was launched, her mother, Elena, had no idea that her daughter was a cosmonaut. It was not until Elena's neighbours rushed round and saw the images of Valentina on television that she realised her daughter was the first woman in space. Valentina's flight almost ended in disaster. One of the engineers who built the spacecraft made an error in loading the software which controlled the braking system, and it was set to send Valentina far out into space rather than back to Earth. Fortunately, Valentina spotted the mistake and told Mission Control, who were able to fix the problem just in time. However, they did not want to admit to their mistake, and for 30 years Valentina kept the secret and took the blame for many of the flight's problems. Eventually, the engineer who had made the error decided that the world should know the truth. Valentina still dreams of space and has said that she would take a one-way trip to Mars. She will forever be known as the first woman in space, who paved the way for the hopes and dreams of many who have followed in her footsteps. So this is our illustration of Valentina. And we've got a quote. On Earth, men and women are taking the same risks. Why shouldn't we be taking the same risks in space?